WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and our website, www.wvtcdetroit.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. Thank you for tuning to WVTC Radio Detroit and the Community Bell Show with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner, Edna Bell. Stay tuned for insightful information Detroiters will find valuable. Text a friend and tell them to watch with you for news you can use. And now, your host, Edna Bell.
Hello, hello, hello. It's Monday at 4 o'clock, so it must be the Community Bell Show. Welcome. We're so glad to have you to the Stellar Award-winning WVTC Radio Detroit. Thank you for joining us again. As always, it's a lovely day outside. It was a lovely day yesterday. Saturday wasn't as lovely, but that's okay. But it's a lovely day, and we're glad to have you with us. And I've got some sad news today. My youngest niece made her transition on Saturday evening. Heartbreaking. She was such a wonderful young lady, and I just needed to say that and say thank you, Lord, for giving her to us for as long as you did. But that was really, you know how your days are interesting. We were celebrating my grandson that morning in his commencement from Cranbrook and his Upward Bound program, and then later on we went to get him ready for prom. And just as we got him off to prom, and I'm getting ready to go to the hospital, get this call that says she's gone. Heartbreaking. But you learn to live with it. So to my family and to all those folks that love Miss Jamie Talbert Bryant, we still love you. We'll always love you. We will always love you. She was a wonderful young lady. A wonderful husband. Just got married 2 years ago in July. Met this great guy. You know, God does things in a strange way, and we just have to accept what he does and try to live with it. Try to live with it. It's hard sometimes. And I know the right words to say and all that kind of good stuff, but saying them sometimes just doesn't make it stop hurting. So my dear niece, Jamie Talbert Bryant, made her transition, 47 years old, this past Saturday. She gave it a good fight. She was a great young lady. Just love her to death. Speaking of young ladies, we're doing things. We're great young ladies. I've got a great young lady with me this afternoon. You probably look at her and say, "Ah, she's really a young lady. She can't be a mayor of anything. How could she be a mayor of something?" As young as she looks, well, she is, and is not new at it. She's been there for a while. Let's welcome Mayor Kelly Garrett, the city of Lathrup Village, Michigan. Welcome to the Community
Thank
Bell
you.
Show.
Thank you.
We are so glad to have you. We've been trying to do this for a while. We finally got these schedules together so that you have enough time to come and say hello to our guest and talk about all the great things you're doing in Lathrup Village. And then the first question is, what made you decide to run for mayor? That's always, I know, the first question people ask you. So I'm going to ask it.
Absolutely. Well, one, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And I wish I could come up with something whimsical or really special to say this is why I ran, but I have nothing. So the one thing I would say is that my aunt, Kathy Garrett, who is the Wayne County clerk, she inspired me to get into politics.
Okay.
My family has been in politics my entire life, and I was not interested at all because
Isn't that always something? I'm not going to do that.
No.
All of them are
I was
doing it.
with
I'm
my
not
uncle,
doing that.
holding up campaign flyers on telephone poles with staple guns.
Probably when you were 6 or 7, 8, 9 years old.
Absolutely, I was, and I had no desire for that. And
sounds like my daughter. So now I'm not doing that, Mama. Okay.
It's just how it is for women when someone asks you. Someone has to come and ask you, and they have to ask you more than once. And so my mentor asked me to run for Lathrup Village's city council, and I'm like, okay, we'll do that. I never would have thought in a million years that I would become the mayor of this city, especially because there are people on council that basically were saying it was never going to happen.
I'm sure.
And it just happened. And so Lathrup is different than everyone else, is that the council appoints the mayor. I do not run for mayor. I have to run for council. And then the council will appoint someone. And so they've done it 4 times so far.
Oh, wow. Let's see, I didn't know that. Okay, listening audience, see, you learn something new about government every day. This one is a new one. The council appoints the mayor of Lathrup Village. So what you do is run for council.
Yep.
And then the council appoints you. I love it. How many council members are there?
That's 5.
5 council members.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need 3 people. The magic number. The magic number is 3.
I used to think that I needed everybody, but I'm like, yeah, actually I need myself and 2 other people.
There you go. The magic number is 3.
Absolutely. It's been fun.
I know, and I know of some of the challenges you faced, and you've managed to get past those and continue to move forward.
That's how you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us about Lathrup Village. Where is it? How many people, and so on?
So it's a little bit over 4,000 people. It is in the heart of Southfield, actually. So it's right in the middle. It reminds me of Highland Park.
I was just
Detroit.
Say,
It's 1.5 square miles. Its own governance, its own police force. We share the fire and medical with Southfield. So you have to be very nice with Southfield.
Yes.
And so it's right at 696 and Southfield. And so what it used to be, which this is the ongoing argument I have from some of the people that have been there, it used to be very much a bedroom community, a very quiet community. But with the build of 696,
everything.
It's hard to say it's a bedroom community. Lathrup is a very interesting community. They have beautiful houses. It's based off of the founder went to California, like what she saw, she brought it back. She's actually a pioneer for women because she's the first female developer.
Oh,
So
okay.
it is Louise Lathrup, this person that
And
developed.
it's named after her.
Absolutely, it is.
Louise Lathrop, all right.
That's a double-edged sword. Because also Louise Lathrop, I don't want to say that she's a racist, but she did not
She didn't want any people of color living in her city. Is what you meant.
It's a little deeper than that. She did
Oh.
not want people of color. She didn't want Jewish people. And I was telling someone this today that I think it was she didn't want Catholic people either.
my.
It was that deep that's
Wow.
she wanted it. And there's a quote, there's a book. She has a book that says that you do better when you basically with your own people. And so this city will be one that will make sure that you can bring your children up with people that look like them.
Isn't that interesting? And how long ago was that?
So that ended, right? So the only reason that changed is because of the Housing Act, 1972. So the same people that were perpetuating this still live there. And then I'm their first Black mayor. It's very interesting.
Wow. Are you the first Black city council person also?
No.
Okay.
They've chased some people away.
Okay.
There's another female, I forgot her name, but she was chased away. I'm not someone that kind of falls to that.
Well, your background and your family history would not lend to you to be chased from anywhere.
Believe me, there's many days I wanted to quit.
I'm sure you want to run, but however,
it's not in me. But it's a very interesting job. You know, people that are running for mayor now call me and they ask me for advice. I'm like, we do not have the same city. I can just tell you.
The advice I give you would not be pertinent to what you're doing.
Not at all. You know, I'm not running for mayor. I just run for council. And my city, though it's small, it keeps up a lot of stuff.
It has some of the same issues as big cities.
It does, but they can also get to me. You know,
that's the difference.
So the year I was elected, my house was egged and my garage was spray painted. And though I did have a teenager in the house at that time, it just was coincidental that was the same week that I got elected. So these are the things that's going on there. I've never seen as many people at our council meetings as we have now. You know, I've been on council for 11 years, but I've been mayor for going on 8. We never had this many people at our council meetings.
Wow. What do you think has caused that many people to come? I'll ask that. That's quiet little
And
boy.
I will say it this way, is that we're going to have growth. We're going to move forward. You can't stay in the past. You know, you can honor your history, and I believe in that. But the fact is that we need revenue.
Which means we need new people.
And we need new people. We need new businesses. It is, you know, if you go down Southfield Road, I didn't do this before, but now I get all teary-eyed when I drive down it. We've done a lot. It used to be the city that was left behind. If you get off the freeway, get off Southfield Freeway, come up to Lincoln, you see all the stuff that's going on in Southfield. Then you come in Lathrop, you're like, God, this still looks the same. And then you hit 12 Mile and it's all new again. You knew when you were going to a different city, and now you can't say that because it really looks good, and I'm very excited about that. And I can't take all credit for it, but I can if I want to.
There you go. Yes, you can. You can take as much credit as you want for that.
And so there's a lot of people, you know, that just are not happy about change.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think a lot of people are stuck in what used to be and stuck in the past. And don't see that you've got to move forward if you really want to survive, because being stuck in the past is not going to allow you to raise the revenue and bring in the people who could do things in your city for development and so on. It's just not going to happen, especially now.
Right.
Especially now. But that's I know you have lots of stories, but that is
I have tons of stories that will just blow your hair back, I'm sure.
That is so great to know that Lathrop Village is now the city that you think you're still in Southville or going to the next city, and you
Absolutely.
don't think that, oh, okay, this is just a comma.
Yeah,
Let me go to the next
exactly.
point. Wow, that is. What are some of the new developments you've got?
So we have new restaurants. We have Anita's, which is very good. It is custard and Italian ice. So the residents are always saying that they want an ice cream shop. So that happened. We have Middle Eats that stays busy, which I'm excited about. We did new development for Panera, which the Panera that's on Southfield Road is the first Panera that was in Michigan. And so they rebuilt it. And it's smaller, but it's still new development for that. We have a pending new development on Southfield, which is the old Annie Lathrop School, which has been vacant for at least 12 years. And so that might be apartments. So we're going through that right now. Yeah, that's a big fight, right?
I'm sure it is. You're bringing in more people.
Not just more people, but the probability of people that do not look like the people that started the city.
More of those people.
Yeah.
Now that school, it seems to me I've seen that when I've gone down Southfield Road. It's at Southfield and what?
Golden Gate. So if you are going north on Southfield, it'll be the light before 12 Mile.
Okay.
Right near Lane Bryant.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Kitty corner from Lane Bryant. And I've been in that building. Something needs to be done. It's really bad on the inside.
Okay. Well, if you've got a developer who wants to take on that challenge, it makes sense to.
It's privately owned, and so the owner is the one that's taking it on, not us.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it even better.
Absolutely. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And once that gets built, if that goes through, then I can officially say, and I'll say it on here, that I can quit because everything that I ran on will be done. And so I believe in you run on something, you do it, then move on to something else.
Okay. You heard it here first, everyone. You heard it here. Well, so let's not get this development going too fast because we want to keep it around a little bit longer. So
I don't know. I think
You're
it's
not trying
time.
to stay.
No, it might. 11 years.
It is a long time.
Yeah.
It is.
For free.
Yeah. Well, now talk about that. That's the other part. And people, you need to know that the mayor of Lathrop Village does not get a salary.
No. So I've been a volunteer for 11 years.
And with all the grief that has gone with it.
My dad asked me every single time I talk to him, why are you doing this? And it's because I really like the people. I love the opportunity that is brought to me. I can help a lot of people because unfortunately we are tied to titles. And if you need help and you call me and I have to call someone else and I say, I'm Mayor Kelly Garrett, I'm going to get to who I need to get to for you.
Yes.
And so that warms my heart to help other people. And so, I don't get any other perks.
Isn't that incredible? What about the city council doesn't get anything either?
No.
Wow. That's
no one ever wanted to run until
I wonder why.
until
you ran.
Until I won. Now we have a bunch of people that are always running now.
I know, and I saw it and I said, and I knew the mayor didn't get a salary. But I didn't realize the council doesn't get anything either. And because all these people were running. And I thought it must be something.
Well, you read between the lines. We just want that girl out.
Get her out. Get her out. Yeah. Just somebody else. And number one, somebody else who's not smart. Somebody who's not articulate, somebody who won't back down,
someone that's not going to call a spade on camera or off camera. I am that person.
So that's why all these people are running. I'll be darned.
Yes.
So Teresa said,
yes.
Be strong, sister. Be strong.
I am. I have no choice. I have no choice.
But it's really interesting how positions don't become valuable until others see that somebody else that they don't want to have it can get it.
Oh yeah.
And do it well.
There is I have been called everything, and it's kind of funny. because I also know the rules.
Mhm.
I've read Robert's Rules
Now
of Order.
that makes a difference.
I know how that goes,
Mhm.
and it's quite funny that there's many people in the community that they call me an oligarch because I gavel them when they go over their time,
Mhm.
and I'm like, if you knew Robert's Rules of Order, you know that you got 3 minutes to talk and we're
Yeah.
done.
And 3 minutes is 3 minutes. It's not 3.5 minutes. It's not 4 minutes. Count them. It's
And
3.
we got a clock. I asked them to bring a clock so you can see that. And I also do my homework. So I called my sister mayors
Mhm.
and brother mayors to see how long they give people.
Mhm.
And like 3 minutes. I'm like, okay, so I'm not going.
You're not going against the grain.
No,
I love it.
it's too bad that we have to. Well, as a Black female, it's a little bit harder for us. I would say that.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. And that is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But the good news is we've been made into a vessel that's hard work and tough times are not
Absolutely.
unusual for us.
Absolutely.
So we have been able to handle it. And that just kind of does something to people. It causes them to kind of lose it. They lose their mind sometimes when they
Absolutely.
can't.
Absolutely.
They can't make you do what they want them to do.
Oh, I mean, I would say just watch our council meetings on YouTube and you'll see how they are.
I'm gonna do that one time.
Just do it for a little while, and I bet you'll call and be like, "Wow."
My, isn't that sad?
It is.
It is sad because, and then not just because it's a Black woman, but any person, but particularly a Black woman,
Mhm.
to have to deal with that kind of situation is simply untenable. And you know, I don't think they understand that when they do that, that simply strengthens the resolve. That
Only
you haven't
straightens the
seen.
rod in my backbone to make it stand up a
Yeah,
little bit.
you haven't seen what you don't really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You really don't, because
Yeah.
now you're making me a whole lot stronger.
Absolutely.
And you watch what comes next.
Absolutely. It is. I will say this, and because we're on this particular station,
Mhm.
is that it's a lot of praying going on.
Mhm.
I pray in the car before I go into the meeting for God to hold my tongue and show me discernment,
I'm telling you.
because I have my friends say, when you whip those glasses off, we all know that it's about to go down. And I'm like, and since they brought that up to me, I'm like, okay, that means you got to be cool, because
Because everybody
knows
the
if those glasses come off, it's about to be something.
Mhm.
And so it's a lot of prayer. And I don't know why God has me in this position, especially as stressful as it is, and for free. I didn't.
What is it, God? But still, I think of it this way: you're doing this now.
Mhm.
There's something else coming.
I know.
There's something else coming that you don't even see and you wouldn't even dream of. And I say that because I know for a fact. I will tell you, as I told you earlier, about being in this radio station.
Mhm.
This was the last thing that I ever thought that I would be doing.
Right.
And when Miss Sandy Rose approached me at the grocery store, I said, "Me? I don't know how to do that."
Right.
Sure. And so you just don't know.
I
You
know.
really don't know what's coming. And it's probably something that will be so far beyond what you would ever dreamed of.
I pray. I hope so.
And then, yeah, just, you just keep on praying. And God sends things to you for a reason, things that you aren't even thinking about, things you don't dream of.
Mhm.
And then you say, oh, okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what that was.
Mhm.
Okay, God, me and you. Come on now.
And I do pray that regularly, that of all the things I've gone through, there has to be something that I'm being set up for. Something much more just bigger, more than I could have ever even thought about.
Absolutely.
Has to be.
And I'm sure of it. I just can't wait to see what it is.
Me
Okay,
neither.
God, we're waiting on you. We're going to wait on you because I just know that there's something big coming your way.
I believe that.
Mhm,
I
there
don't know
is.
what it is.
But he's just getting you ready for it.
I'm looking
You're
forward to it.
going through all these trials and tribulations for a reason.
It's a lot.
And yeah, and it's getting ready. And I'm going to talk about something I know that's near and dear to your heart. Your wonderful son.
Yeah.
Met him, just a wonderful young man,
Mhm.
and you started a scholarship in his
I
name.
did.
Talk about that.
So Chandler, well, yeah, the reason I did a lot of things is
Mhm.
one thing that I said I wanted to be in politics and keep going is because I wanted to leave a legacy for him. And so he can say, and his children could say, that was my mom that did blah, blah, blah. But Chandler passed away in October of 2021 from sickle cell anemia, which that alone disturbs me because people are still dying from sickle cell anemia.
Yes.
And so out of devastation, I was going to give it to the Sickle Cell Association of America. And not that I'm trying to poo-poo nonprofits, but I like to see my money in action. And so Chandler was going to my alma mater, which he took a gap year.
Okay.
Oh, that's a new thing.
That is a new thing. I had a young man talk about a gap year just yesterday. I said, we don't do gap years.
I mean, I'm like, if that's what you want to call it, yeah, it's a gap
we don't
year.
do gap years.
He had he wanted to go to Michigan State, and I'm also very much a realist. And I'm like, honey, your grades don't say Michigan State. So take this gap year, get yourself together. And so he ended up going to Rochester. Now it's Rochester Christian University. Wrote a really lovely essay, which it would brought tears to my eyes, choked me up. But went to school in August of 21. He was in school for maybe a month and a half. And then when he passed away, when I had to call the school, they did this memorial for him.
Wow.
That blew me away. And they were so receptive and they were so helpful. And then the students and the staff and the faculty all knew him. And I'm like, he was here a month and a half.
Wow.
And
what
so,
an impact.
yeah. And so I decided, you know what, this is where we're going to do. We're going to send money here. And so we have the Chandler Gibson Endowed Scholarship at Rochester Christian University. And believe it or not, it is at $70,000 now.
Wow.
They wanted me to take my time. They were like, well, when you get it up to 50. So I got it up to 50 in 90 days for it to be endowed. And so they last year, they gave the scholarship to a young man that wrote me the most loveliest thank you note because he said he was living in his car and couldn't figure out how he was going to pay for his college. And then he got awarded the scholarship. And so this is a way that as long as you say your loved one's name, they remain alive.
Yes.
And so every time someone gets the scholarship, every time I talk about it, Chandler remains alive. He's my forever 21, the literal forever 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That is such a blessing, though, to be able to bless another young man.
Yeah.
And especially one who needed it so much. Living in his car. Now he's able to go to school.
He just graduated 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that wonderful?
I love it.
That is just such a blessing to be able to do that for someone.
Yeah.
And he'll, that's his life. He'll remember that
Forever.
He will remember. And so the goal is for him to go on and replicate that and pass it on and
That's
to do
key.
something for someone else who needs it desperately. Like
That's
he
key.
did.
That's key.
That will be the key.
Yeah.
That will be.
That's why I'm like waiting for God to say, okay, wait, what are we about to do for Kelly? Because between Lathrop and between losing my son and all these other things that have happened, it's amazing that I stand up every single day and show up.
It's God.
Oh, I know.
You know who that is.
I know that.
You know that. He says, let me show you this, Kelly.
Yeah.
Let's look at this and see how this goes for you.
Yeah.
But that is such a blessing to be able to say that. It really, really is.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. Politics. The political landscape in this country is quite interesting. I don't talk about it that often, but sometimes we need to say it. To say that there's some things going on in this country that don't quite fit what the founding fathers, whoever they are,
Absolutely.
wanted them to do. And we've got people making their own rules. And that's the part that I think needs to really be spoken to. You can't make your own rules. Now you might win an election and okay, you won, but you can't make your own rules. And then
No.
when the courts say you do this and you do something else, there's got to be some kind of repercussions. There's got to be something that says, okay, now wait a minute. And so that is the part that's really gets to me more than anything else. You know, I haven't looked at the typical news store shows
Me
for a
neither.
long time. I just can't be by. I just
Me
can't
neither.
look at them. It's not, you
Mm-mm,
know, I'm not
mm-mm.
never going to waste my time on those because uh, the talking heads have all gotten a little bit over the edge and gone a little bit crazy. So
Both
I
sides.
have to make my own assessment. But when you start talking about the rule of law and you've got judges telling you A, B, C, and D, and all you, I don't care. I'm going to do D, E, F, and G.
Mhm.
The question is, what happens now?
I agree with you.
Mhm.
I'm waiting. To me, I feel like there's something that's about to happen.
Yes, and
Because you
that's
can't carry on like this.
yes.
Everyone else below the person we're talking about or
Mhm.
insinuating, everyone below has to play by certain rules.
Yeah.
If
And you,
I even dared go against what our charter says
Mhm.
or our ordinances, I would be recalled. I would be out of there in a heartbeat. I
yes.
mean, it's amazing to me of what's going on. And I have friends that supported our current president.
Mhm. Which is
And
really
strange to me, but it's
yes,
also
strange.
where everyone has a right to think and believe what you
Mhm.
want.
Mhm.
But it's confusing.
It is because you say this over here, but over here you say something else. And I remember probably 30 years ago. Oh boy. But 30 years ago, the two-party system,
Mhm.
but there were friends of mine who were in the opposite party as I am.
Mhm.
And I understood it because their theory was the line is shorter over there. And I can get some deals done. I can do A, B, C, and D. And you know, and they're not that bad. And
Right.
and I said, "Yeah, I got you. I
Right.
understand."
Right.
But now it's more than about deals now.
Absolutely.
It's about lives and people's real existence. And so you can't tell me that the line is short over there because friends, Bill Picard was Republican, and that's okay because Bill did great things in the community.
Mhm.
We've got all sorts of people who were Republicans,
Mhm.
and I was okay with that because they were my friends, and
Right,
then
right.
they still supported their own community.
Right.
But we got people now that I don't know how they could possibly be on the other end. It just blows my mind that they're over there, given what the other folks are doing
Mhm.
to their families.
Mhm.
And so, and now some of them are saying, "Well, I didn't think they were going to really do that." They told you what they were going to do.
I will say one thing, and this is one thing I know for sure, that he keeps his word. That the president that we have right now has kept his word.
He said he was going to do it, and they didn't believe it.
And he has done everything that he said he was going to do.
Exactly. They didn't believe it.
And that boggles my mind.
Yes, he said what he was going to do. So I don't get how you didn't think he was going to do it.
Right, right. You know, one thing that I was gonna say is that, or what's been on my mind a lot is about these student loans and that
Yes.
they're coming due so fast,
Mhm.
and putting liens on people's, or not liens, what is it? On their paychecks.
Attachments, garnishments
Garnishments.
on their paychecks. for
I
the
am
student
that.
loans.
I don't know why that just worries. Not for me,
Mhm.
but
But there are
that
those
worries.
many folks out
Yes.
there that's their livelihood. That's the house note or the rent or the car note or whatever that is. Or how do you do that and sleep at night? How does that happen?
One thing I know that I double checked my student loans, make sure they weren't. So as I read that, I was like, okay,
let
me make sure that,
Mhm.
because you're right. If you garnished my paycheck, that would be, that's a lot of money to come out of someone's paycheck.
Yeah.
And so these are the things, like, as mayor, tonight, actually, we have a vote on whether or not to raise taxes or put this it's not a millage, but it's a special assessment.
Mhm.
Whether or not we're going to do that. And that's a major issue for me because where one person can say, oh, $200 a year, that's not a big deal. Or, if you take $400 out of my paycheck, that's not a big deal.
But
And then there's
those
us.
are you kidding me?
I'm going to feel that,
I'm going to feel that for a long time.
Absolutely.
A
And
long
so
time.
that's the responsibility of a person that's elected for all the people. Just because you might have been elected as a Democrat or you might have been elected a Republican, you represent all the
Everybody.
people. And so that's when you have to put your partisan on the shelf and figure out what's best for the people, not just what's best for your party.
Yes.
And I think that's where we're kind of getting confused at. And I'm not saying I'm not a Democrat, but I'm saying that that's where we need to start focusing on is the people and not the party.
Exactly.
And who's going to represent us the best?
Wholeheartedly. Who has kept their word?
Good or bad? Who's
Good or
kept
bad?
their
Who's
word?
kept? So whatever it is, who's kept their word?
Yeah.
And base your support on that very thing. Did they do what they said they were going to do, or didn't they?
Well, there's a certain elected official now that really disappointed me because though I know your cause and I know that this is what you're strong about, you screwed me because you were for your cause. And that is, it's especially a cause that's not in the United States. That's not in Michigan. That's not in Detroit. That's not in, that bothers me.
I'm telling you, that bothers me more than anything else because all I hear from that person is about somebody that's thousands of miles away from where you're supposed to be representing.
Yeah. And it's not that I don't have empathy and sympathy
absolutely.
Because I do, and I think it's terrible. But we have people suffering here that need you to make right decisions for them.
Yes, and need you to at least have people think you are credible. And because of the actions that you've taken in the past and are currently taking, they dismiss you, which means the votes of all these thousands of people who voted for you are being dismissed because of what you're doing. That bothers me. That has bothered me from the beginning, and it still bothers me that that person isn't representing me and the majority of the people in that district.
Exactly.
They're representing somebody who's thousands of miles away. And I have empathy and sympathy for what's going on. But that doesn't mean you negate your responsibilities of the people who you have to see every other day.
I'm not going to go down the street and feed the family down the street that's suffering if my own house is suffering.
Yes.
I'm going to take care of my kids first and make sure that they eat before I go elsewhere and take care of somebody else.
Yes. I wholeheartily agree. That's been my position ever since the beginning of that.
It disturbed me a lot, and but you will be villainized if you speak out anything differently, and that's it's too bad. And believe me, many people have asked me to run in that particular race again, and I don't think I have it in me. And two, this is who you picked.
Yes.
You had an opportunity to change it before, and that's who you picked. So no, I don't think I have it in me. And I think politics, the way that I was brought up on politics or in politics, it was just a little nicer. It was just now it just seems real destructive and just mean and just
absolutely. And not only was it nicer, people kept their word.
Yeah,
which is very, very different than what's going on now.
Yeah.
When I first got into politics, if somebody told you they were going to do something, they did that. And if they found they couldn't do it, they would come to you and say, I told you I was going to do this. This is why I can't. This is the reason. But these people are just out there saying stuff.
And then I'm calling people out of their names.
Yes.
I can't. I actually did. I took up for a state representative, and I don't know her. I've never met her, but I know the disrespect. And the fact is, if you're an elected official, if you are anybody with a title, the right thing to do is to call them by that title.
Yes.
And you minimize, especially women, when you call them young lady or girl, or it drives me up the wall, because that's what happens to me on a regular basis.
On a regular basis,
where I don't fight anymore. If you don't call me Mayor Kelly or Mayor Garrett, I'm fine with it. But also know I'm giving it back to you. You are no longer Miss whatever you are. Since we're friendly like that, I'm gonna call you by your first name too.
Exactly.
But I had to get in an argument with someone where they were trying to say, well, she was disrespectful to me. Well, what I saw, she was not. You started it. And the fact that you called her young lady. And if she's sitting on that dais, then her name is either state rep, representative, your honor. And I think we've also gotten away from that too.
Yes.
Just the plain, just being respectful.
Yes. And those titles are not easy to come by.
No.
And you need to be respected for the fact that you have gained that level. And people don't understand. But again, I think we've got such a different kind of electorate.
It is.
It is so different. And I don't know if it's because it isn't taught in school the way it was when I grew up.
Right.
Or it isn't taught in the home or in communities where the breakdown is.
I agree.
But there's something that's left out that sometimes I don't even know that people know they're not being respectful.
Right. And that's what they told me. They didn't, they did not understand calling her a young lady was
I thought that was being nice to her.
and I'm like, it's not.
No. She's earned that title.
Right. Right. And I think that you're right that it's not being taught in school. I think that it's just a whole disrespect that's running the gamut in the world, period. You can call people stupid on the news or just
amazing.
And that floors me.
Yes. Yes.
Even in my meeting, someone has flipped me off. Someone has said F me in a meeting where it shocked me, but it also made me laugh because I'm like, now I throw you out. You give me the grace to throw you out.
Now you cross the line.
But it's just it's the disrespect, period. And it saddens me. And it's unfortunate that this is the other side of it that I think people won't like me saying this, but I think people also are looking for jobs.
Well,
yeah, I said it.
That's and what's so interesting about what you said, because you're right. I think in some cases they don't even know what the job is that they're looking for.
Right.
They don't know what the responsibilities are. They know that I don't have a car, I'm riding the bus. And I know of some people who were running for office who were in that situation.
So do I.
And they needed a job.
Yeah, and I got enough people that I can gather, and we can go and knock doors and things like that.
Yes.
I mean, that's why I'm happy that I don't get paid for this job.
Oh my God!
Because
for them, talk about.
I'm happy because that means I'm employable. I hold a job in somewhere completely different, and so that's why I enjoy my position because I don't. I want to say that I am my own person.
Yeah, because you. Yes,
I'm my own person, and I make my own decisions. Yes. No one pays me to
do this,
say anything different,
and I can do it because it's the right thing to do it. I don't have to worry about what anybody else says about it. But speaking about your other position, talk about your other position. So, university school.
I am the director of development at Rochester Christian University. And they decided to hire me because of how much money I raised for Chandler.
This lady can raise money. We need her on the payroll.
Yeah. And then also I went there. It's a Christian school. The idea of being able to be surrounded by people that have the same belief as you is something different,
I'll bet.
And so for me, it's like, are you really this nice? Are you really this kind? Are you really praying before meetings? But it's really nice, and I love the campus. The campus is absolutely beautiful.
Where is the campus?
It's in Rochester Hills on Avon Road.
Okay.
It is. I mean, it's so peaceful, and you feel like God is really there. I had some issues first going there because I was thinking about Chandler there, and I was like, I don't know if I can keep this job because every time I would go outside,
you started crying.
Absolutely, every single time I go near his dorm, I'm like, this is not going to be good. But I'm excited to be with them because I know, and they just hired. What I love about this school is all the schools that are going through this DEI change where I know a lot of schools have folded. I know that's another thing.
Yes.
Now schools have folded and we're not going to have DEI. I mean, companies, cities, things like that. This particular school said, fine, I won't call it that, but I'm going to show you this is how we operate. And they just hired their first Black president.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was a wow. I mean, we were at partnership dinner. Everyone was kind of like,
ooh.
It was hilarious. I mean,
Wow.
but it was wonderful. And I'm looking forward to working with him. I'm actually going to introduce you to him.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Have them on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love to have them on the show.
Absolutely.
Because, they talk about DEI, and I said to myself, they really don't understand. The people who benefit from DEI don't look like us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were not the ones that benefited from DEI.
Yeah.
So you don't even know that you're hurting your own people.
Yeah.
When you talk about getting rid of, because we didn't benefit, just like we didn't benefit from the affirmative action programs when they spoke to contracts. We're not the ones that got the contracts. Other folks got the contracts that don't look like us. Might be the same gender, but they didn't look like them. They're the ones that benefited from those contracts and those rules. So you just don't even understand what happened.
Right.
But that's okay.
You'll see.
Because we survive. We've always been able to
That's
do
our
what
thing.
happens. We survive.
That's our thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we'll be okay. Now, the folks that won't be okay are the people who don't know how to survive and who have never had to survive.
Right. Right.
They didn't think they were going to get touched when they started laying off all these people from all these jobs.
Absolutely.
They
What was the
are in
number one
shock.
thing that you were told? Go in what positions that you could be there forever? It was your government
job.
utilities.
That's right. And oh my.
Yeah.
And so now they are in shock. Me? That was for those other people. That
Right,
you were
right.
you don't take my job, lay me
Right.
off. There's other folks.
Right.
So I'm just sit back and watch. And I say to people, don't worry, God's got this. I'm good. God has got this.
Right.
Because we have always survived.
Always.
We find a way to make it through, and we've always survived. And we come out on the good end when it's all over. Some other folks won't necessarily be able to do that. And we're going to pray for them. But we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Be sure to get back to me so we can have the new president on the
I
show.
absolutely am going to do that.
That would be wonderful. That
Absolutely.
would be wonderful. Mayor Kelly Garrett, thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you
Mayor-
for having
and
me.
Daughter, I got to say, daughter of my friend Jerry Garrett.
Make sure you say that.
My guy.
I'm his daughter.
That's my buddy. My buddy. Thank you so much for coming on the
No
show.
problem.
I appreciate you. Audience, you've heard from young lady about all what she's done as mayor, and now she's a development officer at a university. We're going to have her back, talk about some of the other things that she's done and talk about her development opportunities at the
Okay.
university and so on. But we're glad to have you. Thank you so much for
having
joining
me.
us today. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
gang. We'll see you next Monday, 4:00. Be there. We'll see you. Have a great week.
Thank you for listening to Community Bell with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. This broadcast was brought to you by WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, tell a friend to tune in. We'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern to the Community Bell Show, right here on WVTC Radio Detroit.
Hello, everybody. This is Brandon Waddles, the son of Detroit, Michigan, just telling you all to make sure that you keep on watching WVTC Detroit.
Detroit, 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 Detroit. Get ready. Two gospel music powerhouses are coming together for an unforgettable night of music and ministry. It's the annual fellowship featuring the Detroit Gospel Music Workshop of America and the Gospel Music Workshop according to Chicago Choir. It's happening Friday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. at Mount Zion Baptist Church, 3600 Van Dyke in Detroit. Come experience the anointed sounds of these two dynamic choirs under the direction of Dr. Michael Fletcher and Malcolm Williams. General seating is just $10 and VIP seating is $20. Get your tickets from any Detroit chapter member or on Eventbrite. Don't miss this divine night of praise. Visit gmwadetroit.org for more info. WVTC Detroit, where gospel live.
For over 60 years, Elmar's Furs has been a staple in Metro Detroit, setting the standard for luxury furs and craftsmanship. With a passion for excellence, Elmar's offers the finest selection of mink, chinchilla, sheared mink, and fox furs. From custom designs to one-of-a-kind pieces, Elmar's ensures every client leaves with the look they've always dreamed of. Elmar's also offers monogramming, cleaning, repairs, and appraisals, ensuring the fur stays as beautiful as the day you bought it. Elmar's Furs, where elegance is affordable.
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.